Thank you for coming tonight. My name is Megan. I am a librarian here at the Santa Clara City Library. I work in the Adult Services Unit, so most of tonight is going to be tailored towards our services and resources for adults. But we also offer a lot of stuff for children and teens at the library. So I'll tell you a little bit about that, but most of this is going to focus on adults. So the first thing I wanted to go over is just a quick overview. As we're going through, if you have questions, please put them in the Q&A. If you put them in the chat, I might not be able to get to them while I'm also presenting. But if you put them in the Q&A, then I do reserve about half the program at the end to answer your questions. So go ahead and put them in there. So we are going to be talking tonight about how to use the library website, how to navigate our digital catalog, so our online catalog, how to find books, how to use our e-resources, how to look at our library events on our calendar. I'm going to just be talking about, in general, cool things that we do here at the library that you might not know about. And also, one thing that I want to mention is that the library is free. So if I'm talking about a service or a program, it's free. There are very few exceptions, like there's a small charge for printing. Obviously, if you borrow something and you don't bring it back, you get charged for that because we need to replace it. But with very few exceptions, we are free. So a lot of these things we talk about, people don't realize, or they think there's like an annual cost to have a card. There's not. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that. And speaking of having a card, I'm assuming if you're here, you probably do have a library card. If not, please come by and get one. And thanks for being at this program. But I'm just going to launch this quick poll because I'm curious how long you've been a member of our library. When I first started this program, I kind of designed it as a new library user orientation. But then I realized a lot of people who were coming are actually people who've been members of the library for a long time, and they just want to learn more about it. So thanks for answering. So yeah, actually, more than half the people here tonight have had a library card for more than 10 years. So thank you. And then only one person has had a card for less than a year. So thank you too. Hopefully there will be something for everybody to learn tonight. Okay. So like I mentioned, we are the Santa Clara City Library. We have 3 locations. Central Park Library is our main location. We also have our Mission Branch Library, which is over by Santa Clara University. And we have Northside Branch Library, which is up near the Rivermark Plaza off Montague Expressway. We also have a bookmobile. So you can see that picture on the bottom here, second from the left. And that is a mobile library that travels around. It has books and materials on it that you can check out. And you might see it at like special city events, but it also visits schools and senior centers, senior living communities, a couple residential developments, maybe places that aren't near a physical library, so we can bring the library to you. You can also get a card at the bookmobile if you don't already have one. And you can return items, like if you check out from Central Park or Mission or Northside, you can return those items at the bookmobile, vice versa. So you can return and borrow within all the Santa Clara City libraries. One thing I do like to mention, because it can be confusing, but then I don't like to talk about it too much because sometimes it introduces confusion. We're very lucky to live in an area with a lot of great libraries. So there is a large library system near us that's called the Santa Clara County Library. We are not the same library. So if you're trying to do something on the city website or using your city card and it's not working, the first thing I suggest is always check and make sure, are you using your city library card on the city library website? The county has their own website and their own card numbers. So sometimes that can be confusing because you definitely can have cards to both, and we encourage it. You might as well use all the resources, but we're not the same. So if something's not working, just double check and make sure you're using the right card at the right library, because they're not compatible. We can't read their cards and they can't read ours. So Central Park Library is open 7 days a week. We are open on Sundays. And then starting this Saturday, January 10th, starting on Saturday, we're actually going to be open until 5 p.m. on Saturday. So previously we were closed at 4. We're going to be open an extra hour for you during the weekends. So tell all your friends, come visit us. Our branches, Mission and Northside, are both open Monday through Saturday, and they will still be closed at 4 o'clock on Saturdays. You can borrow 99 physical items at one time from the library. Certain types of items might have limits, like you can't borrow 99 video games or 99 DVDs, but you can borrow 99 books, and then you can borrow a combination of items that add up to 99. One thing I noticed I forgot on this slide is that we do have a tech center at Central Park Library. So this is our computer lab on the first floor, and we actually do have tech support that is always staffing that center when we're open. So they actually wanted me to share this during the orientation, that the tech center is here. They love to help you with your technology, so you can come in and get help with that when we're open 7 days a week. If you have a very specific question, you can always call ahead, and see if it's something they can help you with. But you can just walk into and see if they're available to help. So speaking of calling ahead, when you call the library, we do have a phone tree. So just so that you can know the options, because a lot of people, when I answer the phone, half the people start with, I don't know if I got to the right area, but this is my question. So if you're calling the library, there's our main number at the top, 615-2900. If you have an account question, so a question about your library card, placing a book on hold, renewing a book, any fines or fees on your account, that's going to be a circulation question. You would press 2. Adult services, that's my department. You would press 3. That's like an adult program or a reference question. For press 4 would be youth, teen, and family services. So any children's events or questions about children's books, you'd want to talk to them. Mission and Northside have their own phone numbers there. Just a little tip for you, and you can do this with most all of your library cards, I think. I actually have a note in my phone with all my different library card numbers. So if I go to a library to check out and I don't have my physical card with me, you can just type the number in to one of our self-checkout machines and you can check out that way. If you want to use a public computer, you can just type your number in. You very rarely need the physical card. And if you don't have the number or the card, we can always look up with your photo ID. But if you just save your number in your phone or write it down somewhere, then it's just a really easy way for you to still use all of our resources while you're at the library. Okay, for the next part, we're going to go to a live demo of the library website. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through our website and then I'm going to walk you through our catalog. So let me stop sharing so I can switch over to my internet browser. And then let me start sharing again so you can see it. Okay. So this is what our library website looks like. So again, if it doesn't look like this, you might accidentally be on another library's website. So our library is sclibrary.org. On the home page here, we have just our next upcoming events. Some quick links here. My account will take you to your library card account. We'll go over that later. This is a quick reference to the locations and hours for our different locations. This kind of goes over everything we offer at the library, and I'll show you that. And then this is rotating. So like right now we have a winter adventure bingo going on. It's going on through the 15th. So we encourage you to come in and pick up a bingo card, do 5 fun activities, win a prize. It's pretty easy and fun. And so this will rotate through like during summer adventure, our summer reading program. You'll see that here. If we have Comic-Con coming up, that might be here. So just we put important stuff here on the homepage, so these buttons might change. We also have featured lists that change each month. So right now you can see their winter books for all ages. And then if you scroll down further, we also have some quick links to some of our most popular e-resources. So like, did you know you can read the New York Times for free? Mango is a very cool program that's also an app that you can get for free with your library card to learn other languages. We have free access to LinkedIn Learning. Brainfuse, they have Job Now and Help Now. So Job Now helps with like live tutoring for job searching, and Help Now helps with like homework help for kids. And then these are our most popular ebook or e-media platforms, Libby and Hoopla. And those are both apps as well. So I'll go over some of these in more detail later, or ask a question in the Q&A if you want me to show you any of these specifically. But these are just some quick links. If you like any of these, you can literally just go to our homepage and click on it. You don't even have to do anything else. You can also get to them pretty quickly right here from Books and More under Digital Library. You'll see we have Hoopla, Libby, New York Times right there. So same thing, just one click and you're in. So I think the easiest way to show you the website, because there's so much, is just to quickly go over each tab and show you what there is to offer. So books and more, a lot of this is going to be the catalog, which we'll go over next. So you could go to the digital catalog here. The catalog is how you search for books or other items in the library's collection. We also have access to Link Plus, which is a really great system. Basically, if we don't have the book you're looking for, but another library that we have a sharing agreement does have the book, you can actually request it right here through Link Plus, and then they will send the book to our library. You will come to our library and check the book out with your library card. So it's really nice. You can do everything like at Santa Clara City Library. Then when you're done, we send the book back to them and it's free for you. Book Match is a program where you can fill out a quick form and get personalized reading recommendations. I know it's January. You might be wanting to read more in 2026. If so, then you might want to fill out a book match and get some ideas. Also, just skipping ahead a little bit, if you are trying to read more in 2026, I have to show you this reading challenge because I'm launching it. And so I'd love for you to join. Um, it's a 2026 reading challenge. It has 26 different categories where you can read. So like read a book featuring books, read a book in translation, read a book under 200 pages. If you finish any 12 of these, you win a prize. If you finish all 26, you win a grand prize. So you can check that out here if you're interested in more information. We also offer book clubs at the library. So these are book clubs for adults. Summer adventure, every summer we do a summer adventure program. We usually launch that in May and it starts June 1st. So check back later for that. If I mentioned earlier, if we don't have a book and another library does, you can search Link Plus. If you think it's a book that we should buy, you can actually suggest right here, suggestions for purchase. It doesn't have to be books. It could be DVDs or CDs or any of these other materials we have in the library. You can submit a request. These are really helpful for us to know what the community is looking for. We can't buy everything, not only because of budget, but also because some things aren't available for libraries to buy. But it's good to know what people are looking for. We do look at every suggestion for purchase. Interlibrary loan, this one is more niche. You would only use this for genealogy resources. So if you couldn't find something through Link Plus, you could do this for genealogy resources. This one does cost $10, but usually we only charge you if we can actually find the book and get it for you. But again, this is a kind of a special circumstance. So just talk to us if this is something you want to use. And then also this year, we are a recipient of the NEA Big Read Grant. So this is a national grant program where you pick one book and you do a year of programming around the book. So this year we picked Bite by Bite. It's an essay collection of really beautiful essays. A lot of our programs happen in the fall, like we had some book clubs, the author came and spoke. But one thing that's coming up that I would love for you to do and share with your friends is that we are going to be publishing a community cookbook. So it's going to have recipes, but also we're looking for artwork or writing about food. It can be about food or it can be about nature because that's the grant theme. So our book was about food, but the grant theme was about nature. So either of those things, you can visit this website and here's all the submission guidelines, but they are due March 31st and we would love for you to submit your recipes, art, or writing. And anybody age 18 and up can contribute to that. Okay, for the digital library over here, I already mentioned these quick links. We also have a bunch of e-resources. So e-resources could also be called databases or electronic resources or digital resources. There's a lot of names for them. Some of them only librarians use. So I try to use, what the public would recognize. But if you go here to research tools, there's actually two ways you could search for things. So we have research by subject or A to Z e-resources. So if you know what you're looking for, like you want to look at New York Times. Well, that's not a good example because you can do it right here. So you want to look at the San Jose Mercury News online. You can go to our A to Z listing, click on S, and find San Jose Mercury News. Here is the historical archives. Here is the current website. Maybe earlier I mentioned Job Now. You want to look at Job Now. You can click on J, and here's Job Now. But maybe you don't know the name of the resource you're looking for. You just want to see, like, can the library help me learn another language? Then you would want to go to research by subject. And then here, these are our different subjects. So you're like, oh, ESL and language learning. What does the library offer? And this is when you can see, oh, cool, Mango Languages. I can download this. and learn another language. Or like, oh, look, this one has a bunch of like bilingual kids books that can teach me or my children. Honestly, this is a kids resource, but I use it all the time because it's really helpful for adults trying to learn another language too. So if you just click on one of these, it'll take you to the website, and then you'll need to log in with your library card number the first time you do it. You'll sign up with your library card number, and then after that, you'll log in with the information you made. Sometimes they just ask you for the library card number. So just look and see what they're asking for. But that's how you get it for free. That's also why it's really important, like go back to research by subject. Say you're applying for a job and you're trying to brush up your job skills. So you go here to our career page, and then you want to use LinkedIn Learning. LinkedIn Learning is a paid platform, so make sure you're using our link. If you use our link and get started, then it should ask you for your library card number. If you just Google like LinkedIn Learning and it asks you to create an account, and then it's going to ask you for a credit card because it's a paid service. So because you want it to know you're coming from the library, make sure you go to our website and use our links, and then it should ask you for a library card number, and then you'll be able to get in. We also have links to some little tutorials on our YouTube channel. So if you're a visual learner, these are like 3 to 5 minutes long, and they walk you through how to use the resource. So those can be really helpful if you're using a new resource. You could just click on that and go to YouTube. Okay, next up is our library of things. So I mentioned, we don't only have books, we also have DVDs, CDs, magazines, audiobooks, video games. But then we also have things that are even more unusual for a traditional library, our library of things. So this is like we have tools that can help you with like energy efficiency in your home. We have 360 cameras that you can use with your smartphone. We have a hiking collection, so you can get like a hiking poles or like a bear canister if you're going camping somewhere where you're required to have bear safe containers. You could get a bear canister from us instead of going and buying one for $80 to $100 and then having to store it in your home all year to use it once. So you can always look here. You can even just search our catalog. Like if you're ever wondering, oh, does the library have hiking poles? Hopefully this works. Yeah, hiking poles. Great. So if you know what you're looking for, just search the catalog. If you're not sure, you just want to see what we have, this library of things page is a good resource. We just added a couple new libraries of things that you can see here. It's like we have a shredder that you can borrow. This is one of those little tools that you plug into your car to see what the error code is if your engine light comes on. We have a balloon pump. So just, fun stuff. And also, if you have any ideas for this, you can always put those in the suggestions for purchase too, or let a library staff member know. Or actually, there's a special form. So fill out this form. If you put it in suggestion for purchase, we'll also get you to the right spot, but you could fill out this form as well. Okay. Language collections, we also have world languages at the library. So these are the languages we offer that are not English. Most of these are books. We also have DVDs and magazines and newspapers sometimes. And some of them it depends. So like Arabic, we have adult DVDs, but for books, they're only children's. Chinese, we have adult and children's. So you can just look here and see what we offer. And if you click on any of these, it will take you to our catalog as well and show you the books. And I have been talking way too much because I want to give you plenty of time for questions, and I haven't even gotten to the catalog yet. So very quickly, services. This is the library services at a glance page that I mentioned. So it's just going to go through maybe your most common questions, like how to place holds, which we'll go over, picking up holds, our public computers, our printing, information about our bookmobile, if you want to donate to the library. So this is kind of just like it says, at a glance. Information about library cards, information about the bookmobile. We also have a very robust genealogy and local history program here. We're very lucky to have a partnership with the Santa Clara County Historical and Genealogical Society. So I have worked at libraries where usually public libraries, you can't help with legal questions or medical questions because we're not lawyers and we're not doctors. We can point people to resources, but we really can't answer legal or medical questions. I've actually worked at other libraries who also say, we don't answer genealogy questions, send them to Santa Clara. So if you have genealogy questions, we do have a great team of volunteers that can help you with that. So we do have a special genealogy and local history department here. Also, like I mentioned, we have public computers that are free to use. Printing does have a small cost, 15 cents per page for black and white, 35 cents per page for color. If you or somebody you know is trying to learn English, we do have ESL programs. We have a book club, and all of our locations have their own weekly conversation club. No registration required, just show up. And then we also have our digital resources here that can help with language learning. Mango Languages is cool because if you're trying to learn English, you can actually learn it in your native language. So, like, if you are a Japanese speaker trying to learn English, then the app teaching you English will be in Japanese, which can often be more helpful than learning English in English if you don't know English, right? So that's a good one to share. Read Santa Clara is our adult literacy program. So if you or any adult you know needs help reading, writing in English, or with basic math, you can contact Read Santa Clara. They can give you more information about that. Also, if you're interested in volunteering, they do look for tutors a few times a year. So all that information is on our website. We have Learn to Code. These are Chromebooks you can check out with coding software to learn coding. And then we have a bunch of other services over here. So I'm just going to quickly cover some that I get lots of questions about. Discover and Go. This is most of the resources at the library. You just have to have a library card. We don't care where you live. Because of the nature of Discover and Go, you do have to have a Santa Clara City zip code to use this service. So like if you live in San Jose and you have a Santa Clara City library card, that's amazing. We're so happy to have you. You won't be able to use your Santa Clara City library card to book on Discover and Go. You'll have to use your San Jose Public Library card. So for Discover and Go only, just use your library card for your home zip code to sign into this, and then you can get like free museum passes and stuff for a list of different institutions around the Bay Area. I mean, these are all really good. VITA, so the or VITA tax-free tax assistance will be happening again this year, starting in February. So keep an eye on our calendar for that. Also for citizenship resources, we do have a librarian who's been doing like 6-week citizenship prep courses. So keep an eye on our calendar for that. And again, all free. Finally, book a room. So we do have free study rooms that you can use at all of our locations. You can use them for 1 hour a day, and you can book them online. If you're already in the library, just ask a staff member if one's available, and if one's available, we'll book it for you. So kids and teens, I mentioned I work with adult services, so I don't really have time to go over this, but we offer a lot for kids and teens. Check this out, call them, visit them. They're fantastic. For our calendar event here, you can look at all of our events. As you can see, we have a lot of events. They are all free to attend. You can also filter them if you want by kids or adult, or you can filter them by location. And then finally, about us, just where you would find, our locations and hours. Sometimes people ask about volunteering at the library. You would check here. Working at the library, you would check here. And then contacting us, we have several options here. Ask a librarian is if you have like a reference question, we usually get back to you pretty fast, usually within 48 hours, as long as we're open. You can also leave us suggestions or comments. You can also suggest things to buy here. And then submit a program proposal is like if you want to lead a program at the library, like you have an idea for a program or you want to lead a class, you would fill this out. If you just have an idea for a program, like, hey, you guys should do a program about this, go ahead and put it in suggestions and comments. This is like, oh, I'm a computer teacher and I want to teach a class for middle schoolers on, whatever. That's where you would do this. Okay, so let's quickly go through the catalog. Sorry, because I've been talking way too much. There's just so much to share. So this is what our catalog homepage looks like. So you can go to log in at the top to log into your account. Also from the homepage, you'll just see some staff lists will come up here. So we're always making like relevant list for like different holidays and months and celebrations, things going on in the world right now. You can see this is me, SC Library Megan. You can see I've been working on a lot of lists for our Read 26 and 2026 challenge. We also have Silicon Valley Reads coming up. And then this is kind of like a very social catalog. So other people can like review books they read. You can look at their reviews and things like that. But most of what you're going to want to look at in the catalog is either in your account or if you're searching for something. So I just want to show you a few things really quickly. First, how to search. So let's say you're searching for gardening books. Over here on the left, these filters are super useful because as you can see, like I searched for gardening and I got 1,556 results. That's a lot. So the first thing you might want to do is like a lot of people are in the library, they're like, I only want a physical book. They don't want an ebook or anything like that. You can come over here and just click book. Okay. So now all the ebooks are out. And then maybe like some of these things, right? You might need to put a hold on them because they like this one. This one's checked out. So you could still put a hold on it and get it when it comes back, but you can't get it today. Maybe you need it today. You can say available at and say you're at Mission. So I want books that are available at Mission. Now it's only going to show you books available at Mission today. And maybe you're like, oh, like these kids' books are coming up. That's not what I want. Even though honestly, kids nonfiction is great. If I want to learn something about a topic, just a little bit, I read a children's nonfiction book. They're very interesting. I learn the basics, I move on. Um, but you could come down here to audience and say you want the audience for adults. So there's all different kinds of things here you can see. Um, Also, like some of the filters aren't available anymore because of what I searched. But like if I unchecked some of these to open up my options, you would see like languages. So like maybe you're looking for gardening books in Chinese, you could do that. So these filters are always really helpful. You can obviously ask library staff to help you find a book, but if you're home looking around, maybe like you only want new books because you don't want outdated ones. These filters are just really helpful in narrowing stuff down. Another thing I wanted to show you is how to place a hold. So we're going to place a, okay, so this book is checked out. So let's say I want to place a hold on this when it comes back. Gonna place a hold, logging in with my library card number and my PIN. And then I'm going to pick it up at Central Park Library. If you always pick up at the same library, you can actually just check enable single click holds. And from now on, every time you hit place hold, it'll just place a hold at your home branch. I'm not going to do that here because this is a test account, so I don't want to set that, but I just want to show you that as an option. So I want to pick this up at Central Park Library. I'm going to place the hold. Oh, cannot be requested. Okay. Oh, probably because it's so overdue its build. All right, let's do this one instead. Place hold. Place hold. Okay, hold requested. Yay. So now let's say later you want to look in your account. You're going to go up here to your account. You can see items you have checked out, items you have on hold, and if you have any fees. An important thing about fees, we are actually fine free. We have not been charging late fees since like around COVID times, but just recently in December, we were able to pass a program where we were able to forgive all past overdue fines. So that's amazing. We're hoping people will come back to the library. This doesn't mean we have no fees at all. So like if you take a book and you never return it, you are still going to get charged for that book because we need it back so other people, can read it. But we don't have any late fees. So if you have a book that is overdue or billed, maybe you haven't been coming to the library or you know somebody who hasn't been coming to the library because they're nervous about that. If you bring back the late book, when you check it in, your fee will go away because we're not going to charge you a late fee. So that's a really cool thing, and we hope it gets people coming back and bringing our stuff back. Also, we have automatic renewals. If nobody's waiting for your item, it will renew 4 times. We have 3-week checkouts, so plus your initial checkout. That means you can keep a book for 15 weeks, which is pretty generous. So if it doesn't automatically renew, that means we do need it back because somebody's waiting for it. So if your books do not renew, please do bring them back so the next person in line can get them. So I'm going to go here to on hold so you can see what it looks like. So these are my 2 books that are not ready. So right here, you can always like say you're going on vacation. So you're like, oh, I'm next in line for this book, but I'm going on vacation for a month. I don't want it to come in while I'm gone because when it comes in, once it's ready for you, we only hold it for you for a week and then it moves on to the next person. So you can always pause your hold. Okay, sorry, this isn't a good example either because this one was available in the library, so I can't pause it. If I were waiting because it was checked out, I'd be able to pause the hold. And then when I come back from vacation, I can unpause the hold and I'm going to maintain my place in line. So like if I'm first in line for this book and there's 50 people on the list and I pause it because I'm going on vacation and the book becomes available, the next person in line will get the book because it's available. But then when I come back from vacation and I unpause, I'm still number 1. So when this person returns the book, I'm still going to get it next. So you don't lose your spot in line, but the book is able to keep cycling through readers, which is the best of both worlds. I don't actually want this book, so I'm going to cancel the hold, which is very easy. Cancel hold. Okay. Another thing I wanted to show you is the borrowing history. So sometimes people will ask, they want to see a list of everything they borrowed. And I totally get in this day and age, people just assume that everything is tracked, right? So we know everything you've borrowed. Actually, we really value your privacy here at the library. And so we don't really track that information. We know what you have checked out now because we need to know who's supposed to bring it back. And we know what you just recently checked out because, it happens that like somebody returns a CD case, like an audiobook CD case with 10 CDs, and one of the CDs is missing. We need to know the last person who had it so we can contact you and say, hey, can you check your CD player and see if this CD is in there? But we don't keep like a list of everything you've ever checked out at the library. That is something that you can choose to opt into if you want. So unlike most things, it's not an opt out, it's an opt in. So if you go here to your borrowing history, so you can get to it either, you can get to it from here, like if you go to checked out or on hold, you can get to it borrowing history. Or you can also get to it in I should have checked this before, in my settings. In my settings, over here, borrowing history. So right now your borrowing history is disabled. And again, it talks here a little bit about the privacy, like I said. So this is what's important. When you turn this on, we still can't see it. So if you call us like, hey, what's this book that I checked out? This is still private only to you. We can't log into your BiblioCommons account and see it. So you can see it in your BiblioCommons account. It's not retroactive, so it's not going to go back and pull all of the old books you read because we don't know what those are. It's just going to start today. So I'm going to check this and save. Now my borrowing history is enabled. Okay, so now my borrowing history is on. So if I check a book out, we'll come back over here to borrowing history. So now it's enabled. So if I check a book out and return it, then it's going to show up here. Later, if I decide, I actually don't want that list to be saved, then you can go back to your settings and then go to borrowing history again. And then uncheck this. It's telling you disabling is going to permanently erase your borrowing history. So it's going to erase everything. So if you turn it on later, it's going to start fresh again, but that's fine. I want to protect my privacy. Okay, now I don't have any borrowing history anymore. So I just want to show that one because that's one that actually a lot of people want and they just assume that it's automatically saved and it's not. Okay, one more thing I wanted to show you because this happens a lot. We have a cool service at our library. It's called Lucky Day. So different libraries call this different things. A lot of them are lucky days. Sometimes they're called like quick picks or hot titles or something like that. But basically, they're like really popular books with long waiting lists. And so we'll have a couple copies in the library that don't go to the waiting list. They're just available for walk-in patrons only. You can't call and put them on hold. They don't apply to the holds list. It's just you walk into the library, you check the lucky day shelf. All of our locations have one, even the bookmobile, and see if it's your lucky day. That's why it's called that. So like this is the new Lee Child book. So it's pretty popular. And so you'll see here, it says available but not holdable. So people see this and they're like, oh man, I want to place a hold on this book, but I guess I can't because it says it's not holdable. Actually, all that means, if I click view location availability, that just means that the copy that's available is not holdable because it's a browsing copy. We call it Lucky Day or browsing depending on the branch. So all it's saying is that the one that's available now is not holdable. You can still place a hold. If I place a hold here, okay, and then see how there's 9 holds on 6 copies. Now I'm going to be 10th person in line. So if I want it today, I should just go over to Mission and check it out. But I am on the hold list. So I just wanted to show that because people think they can't place a hold on popular titles. And that's not really what that means. Now I'm going to cancel that. Okay. What else did I want to show you from the catalog? If you have other questions about the catalog, go ahead and ask them. Oh, the thing about if there's a book that you can't find. So I think this is a book that we don't have. Yeah, so this book, we only have digital copies. I want the print copy. We don't have it. So what you do is you go over here to search other resources, this little drop-down menu, and say search in Link Plus. This also works if the book is just checked out at our library. So as long as it's not available at our library and it's available somewhere else, you can do this. So now this is searching our Link Plus group. And I see here, this is the book that I want. 20 libraries have this title. So as long as at least one of these says available, like, if this is like the hot new book and it's all checked out here and it's all checked out everywhere else, you can't use Link Plus. Just put yourself on the waiting list for our copy. But this one, it is available other places. So as long as it's available at least one other library, you can just request it And then you'll say you're with Santa Clara City, because these are all the different libraries we can borrow from with this system. Oh, I just realized you're not gonna be able to see this little pop-up because of my screen sharing. So anyway, there's a little pop-up. It asks you for your library, and then it asks you for your library card number, your name, and where you want to pick it up. For these, just make sure that you pay attention to your due dates and that you don't lose or damage the book, because I said, like, we don't charge late fees, and we try to work with you, but these books are not ours. So like if you lose it or it's damaged, the fine can be pretty high depending on the library that lent it to us. So just make sure you take really good care of these. Take care of all library books, please. But especially these can also only be renewed one time if nobody at the home library is waiting, and you have to do it manually. It's not going to automatically renew. Otherwise, it is like a standard 3-week checkout, just like our books. Okay. Now I'm going to switch back to my presentation just for the next couple minutes, and then I want to make sure we have lots of time for questions. So patient with me, please. Back to here. Okay, so we should be back to the slides now. So we just went over the library website. This is the next thing I wanted to share. Libraries are cool. So I mentioned Lucky Day. I mentioned we have free events. I mentioned Discover and Go. I very briefly talked about the hiking items and the parks passes. So for parks passes, we have California State Parks passes. That's something that every public library in California has, thanks to a agreement between the state library and the state parks. We also here at Santa Clara have Santa Clara County Parks passes. So if you want to go to a county park, you can get free parking there at all except like 1 or 2. So anyway, those also check out for 3 weeks. You usually have to be on a waiting list for them. They don't automatically renew. You can renew them one time if nobody's waiting. If you can't renew it, please bring it back because somebody's waiting. And then you can just get back in line again. We also have Lucky Day copies of both types of passes. So like say you weren't planning on going to a park this weekend and you just decide on Friday you want to go, check our catalog, see if a Lucky Day copy is available. Go to the library, check it out. I mentioned the tool library, literacy tutoring. Seed library is one thing I didn't mention. So all of our locations now, Mission, Northside, and Central, do have seed libraries. So it's just how it sounds. You can come borrow seeds. I mean, they're seeds, so you don't have to bring them back. But we ask that if the seeds work and you grow something in your garden, if you want to bring seeds back to us later to donate back, then we keep the library going. It's not a formal process. You don't actually use like your library card to check out, but we have them available. Which reminds me, also here at Central Park now, last summer we started a puzzle exchange. So we have a bunch of jigsaw puzzles for all ages, different sizes from like, 300-piece puzzles to 2,000-piece puzzles. Same thing, it's not formal. You just come and take a couple home, do them, bring them back when you're done. If you have puzzles that you've already done that you want to donate, we would love to take them off your hands because that's been very popular. I want to do one more poll. So this poll is I want to know what you already knew about. So before you came to this program tonight, what did you already know about? Check all of them. So if you already knew you could read the New York Times for free, if you knew we had coding kits, Discover and Go, Parks Passes, if you knew that we had video games and DVDs, if you knew we had private study rooms, if you knew our events are free, if you knew that we don't have late fees, and if you knew that Central Park is now open till 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Please check all the ones you already knew. This is really helpful for us to see what we need to do a better job of marketing. Because I think like in the event description for this program, I said, learn the best kept secrets of the library, but really we don't want anything in the library to be secret. We want people to know about it. We're here for you. So I'll leave that open just a little bit longer to give people a chance to answer because I know some people are like on their phones and it's harder to answer polls. I also want to know what's your favorite thing about the library that other people might not know. And if you want to put that in the chat just to share with everybody, that would be awesome. I love to know what your favorite things are. I also wanted to share another monthly program we offer that works really well with this one. We offer a behind the shelves library tour. So this is like behind the scenes. It's the second Monday of the month. Usually if there's a holiday or something, it'll be a different time in the month, but we do this every month. The next one's coming up this Monday, which is the 12th, I believe. Yes, coming up on the 12th at 4 p.m. I checked before this program. There were still spots open. We do ask that you register just because we need a manageable group because we're taking you around the library and like into staff areas. But you get to see like You get a tour of the library, see some, again, some of the cool secrets that we don't want to be secret. You go in the staff areas and you get to see our automated handling machine, which is like when you return books to the library on the conveyor belt. People really like seeing that, the book sorter. So that's kind of like the highlight of the program. So we definitely encourage you, and this is appropriate for all ages. We have adults, we have kids, we have families. Date, there's a registration on there for the next few months. Okay, everybody answered the poll, so thank you. Look, we need to do a better job marketing Discover and Go and coding kits. And that Central Park Library is open till 5 on Saturdays, but that's just starting this week. So hopefully we'll get the word out more after this weekend when people see that we're open. Okay, thank you. So now, any questions? So now I'm going to switch over to the Q&A. And like I said, I didn't leave as much time as I wanted, but we do have 17 minutes because I really do want to be able to show you the things that you want to know about the library. I don't see anything in the chat, so don't forget to share your favorite thing about the library in the chat if you want. And then let me check our Q&A. Is this Sycamore room? Good question. So this person is a longtime library user, I'm assuming. They say that we used to have this room that was larger than our other study rooms. It could be booked longer than an hour. So actually, all of our rooms used to be booked longer than an hour. That's a new policy since COVID. So even if Sycamore came back, it would probably still only be an hour unless we changed the study room rules. But yeah, if you need a room, our study rooms fit up to 4 people. If you need a room larger than that, but it's not like big enough for you to rent a community room, just contact us and see what we can do. But right now the Sycamore room is not available for public booking. But just contact us. We try to work with you. Somebody wrote ebook. So I will quickly show you what some of our most popular ebook resources are. And then if you have a specific question, let me know. So let me switch back to our website. Okay. So if I go to our home website and I go to books and more, and then I say research by subject, we have one for ebooks and e-media. So these are all the different places you can read ebooks. Hoopla is an app. Hoopla is nice because there's no waiting list. The library just pays per checkout. So you do only have 4 checkouts a month, but they restart every month and you can check out ebooks, also audiobooks, graphic novels, music, movies. And yeah, they're always available, no waiting list. Libby is through, it used to be called Overdrive for those of you who've been using libraries for a long time. It has ebooks, audiobooks. It also has magazines, which we should probably add to this description here. It has a lot of magazines. And that one there can be waiting list because I won't go into all the nitty gritty of purchasing, but that one there can be waiting list, but it tends to have like new popular titles. And then the magazines have no waiting list. The magazines are always available. And then we have like ebook central, that's more for like high schoolers. We have the languages other than English for kids, which is like the online children's books that can be bilingual, is like a lot of nonfiction, especially like computer science and things like that. I just learned the other day that I guess sometimes O'Reilly has like books on there before they're published in print. So you can actually get them earlier on O'Reilly, which is cool. So those are our main ebook things. Let me go back to our Q&A. Is there a chance to book museums using the Discover and Go without having to rush things at midnight on the first day of the month? There is a chance, yes. Is it a good chance? Depends on the museum. So it sounds like this person has used Discover and Go before. So for everybody else, let me get back to that Discover and Go page so you can see. It was hard to decide how to write it on the website because it's a little bit confusing. So hopefully this is clear. But basically, so passes on Discover and Go are only available for the next 3 months. So since it's January right now, January, February, and March dates are open on the calendar. On February 1st, February, March, and April will be open. So February and March were already open, right? They're open now. They'll be open next month. So that means new passes on February 1st are going to be the April dates. There are literally people who log on at midnight on the 1st because they want to get a pass to a certain museum. After that, I mean, depending, there are some museums that always seem to have passes available and some that fill up immediately because, they don't have unlimited free passes for library users. However, if somebody cancels their pass, it becomes available again. So if you have something booked on Discover and Go and you're not going to use it, please, please, please cancel because it opens up the spots for somebody else. So like if you were really hoping to go to Filoli Gardens this month and you didn't get anything, you can always check back. If somebody cancels, it'll show up on the calendar and maybe you'll get lucky. So there's a chance, but it is a very popular service.